heart to heart.
Hello beautiful beings. I wanted to make a YouTube video talking about the challenges of change and how hard it can be, and just basically how to help deal with it, and how I've been dealing with it. I definitely don't have it mastered at all, but I have some things that I think would help. At least they help me. If you see me looking over here, it's because I have bullet points of things I want to say, because if I don't do that, then I will ramble and make this video about 30 minutes long, and none of us want that. Change is inevitable, and it's always going to happen, and I am autistic, and it's very, very hard for me to accept this. I have always had people tell me I need to accept it and get over it, and it's always going to be hard, but they never exactly tell me how or what to do to accept these things. For example, I have had to move 3 times in the last year, and it was so stressful and felt so isolating, and having nowhere that really felt like home that I can relax in and feel myself was horrible. And for me, feeling myself is me wanting to be surrounded by my hobbies and my sister and family and friends. And moving 3 times, I was never really able to do that in the last year, really spend time with the people I love. And I ended up moving to a whole different state, which is even made me feel even more isolated, honestly. And I just want to say, you are allowed to feel scared and sad with change. And it is probably always going to be stressful, but you just have to find a way to ground yourself through it and make it a little bit easier for yourself. And I feel like a lot of the time, at least for me, when I talk about how stressful change is for people, they're always just like, yeah, get over it. That's life. That's what it's going to be like. And I really hate it, because you're allowed to feel sad about it. You're allowed to feel anxious and stressed and not know how to deal with it. Even if it is a part of life, you are allowed to feel those things. And a lot of the time, I feel like a lot of people unvalidate that for me, and they make it seem like I need to just not worry about it, when that's not even how real life works at all. Ways that I use to ground myself, finding comfort in my hobbies is one of my absolute main things that I love to do. I love being drowned in my hobbies, and I do it all the time. Feeling as connected to myself as possible is severely important to keeping myself grounded, because otherwise I feel far from myself and even more alone. And that makes it even harder to deal with. Finding comfort in your hobbies and finding things that you love to spend your time doing is so important. It's so important. And I know depression takes it away, getting that urge to get up and do it, but please keep doing it. Please, please, I promise you, that is the most important thing you can be doing for yourself. Another thing that helps me is meditating. Making sure you meditate at least once a day, if not more. It helps calm my mind and my body in just 15 minutes, and it helps make me feel like I can breathe again. I have a lot of panicking problems, personally, and I'm in a constant state of panic, it feels like. So meditating can be a really great thing to use if you also struggle with these things. I'm sorry if you hear my dog snoring. Journaling is another big thing for me. Even if you don't have a notebook and you don't like to write, doing it in your notes app works just the same. I use both. Journaling and doing affirmations is a big thing that can help. At least in my experience, it helps you understand the root of an issue that you are experiencing, and that makes it easier to help yourself. It can be very confusing, at least for me, to know how I'm feeling, or
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
Or to know how to express myself during these hard times of me not understanding what I'm feeling. So journaling is a very big way to help yourself with that, if you are like me. Another thing that can help you and make change less stressful is, if you are a family person like me, I am a big family person. I need my sisters to survive. They make me feel like a person, and they understand me more than anybody, and I need that more than anything. And moving to a different state, really far away from them, is really hard, because I don't have that constant company that makes me feel myself. Even though they are a phone call away, it's very different. It's still very isolating because they're not here with me, which is what I'm used to. Not close to your family, or you don't have very many family members. Your friends can be those people for you, 1010%. My friends are an extreme help to my mental health. I love every single one of them, and they really make this journey so much easier. So having people, just anybody around you that makes you feel loved and supported, they're just equally as important to anybody in your family, because that is your family. That is your comfort space. Being surrounded by love in general is super duper important, especially going through a life-changing point, because these people know you and love you and support you no matter what, and you need that when you're going through a stage of isolation or confusion or sadness. At least for me. Doing things for yourself is a really huge thing to making yourself feel present in here and with yourself. Keeping a routine is very important to me. It really helps me feel like a person when I keep my routine. I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'm autistic, and my routine is extremely important to me, and if I don't have that routine, I instantly go into a panic, or I start feeling not real, and I just feel very disconnected from myself and life. And it's really hard for me to get myself back on track and making it to where my routine is something that makes me feel myself again. Keeping my routine also helps me feel like that is something I can control in my life, because moving to a different state was something I had to do. It was not a choice. And having my routine made it feel like I can control something in my life. Watching your favorite shows, or even finding a new one. Personally, I watch the same 5 shows over and over again. I've recently been dabbling into different animes, and it's been so exciting. I love knowing the backstory of the show and watching behind the scenes and doing research on the actors. I do that with every single show or movie I watch that I love, and it makes me feel alive. It's just a really good way for you to get into yourself and what you like to do, and watching shows helps a lot, at least for me. Also, doing your makeup and getting ready every once in a while is a really big, important thing to do, I think, especially with someone who suffers with depression or anxiety. getting dressed, doing your makeup, and getting in like a really cute outfit, even if it's just to be around the house, sometimes is really important, and it can help you feel more energized and ready for the day. And I'm someone who also struggles with this. I don't get ready that often, but I've been trying to, and I miss doing my makeup for no reason. I stopped doing it because of all the life-changing things. I got really in my head. But I've been doing my makeup again and getting dressed for no reason, and it has been making me feel so much more like a person. Truly. So studying your hobbies or career path that you want is super important. For me, I love photography, and I love to research camera and camera angles and just filming work, and that makes me feel more connected to myself because I absolutely love photography and working with the camera in general. And it makes me feel very much more on the path that I want to be on in my life. And that helps when you're going through a very isolating, confusing time. Sticking to what you love and what you want to do. Again, I know I said it 1,000 times, but that makes a big difference on how to deal with change, truly, because it keeps you. And I think that's what's important when you're going through change. The whole point I'm making in this video in general is to basically stay as close to yourself as much as possible. Because with change comes loneliness and sometimes fear and just sadness in general, at least for me. And personally, I'm bad with it. I get really down and I start feeling so out of control when change is in my life, and that goes from even just someone changing plans on me. If time isn't exactly the thing I planned it in my head, I personally start to panic. So just taking a step back and breathing is very important. But remembering that change happens no matter what, small or little, big. It's very important to know and understand it happens every day. You are constantly evolving and changing every single day, even if you feel like you're not. You see something new every single day, and sometimes saying that to yourself or reminding your brain that helps you understand that everybody is on the same page as you. Nobody knows anything about anything. Nobody is smarter than you. You are personally on your own journey to figuring things out and understanding things we all have had to learn. And that's a big thing with adulthood and just being on your own in general. I'm not there yet, but for the people I do know that are on their own, it's a lot. Telling your brain that everybody is on the same page as you or has been on the same page as you, so important, because you're never alone in being confused, ever. And not only that, our feelings and emotion change daily and multiple times a day, usually. How can we expect everything else to stay the same if our feelings and thoughts are constantly growing and evolving? You can't, because you're growing and evolving due to situations that you are in and are dealing with at this point in time. You're going to crave something one day and hate it the next day. You are constantly evolving, and that's okay, and it's scary and confusing and sad. But it's also really amazing, and truly, over the last 2 or 3 years, getting to know myself and being more myself is such an amazing feeling, and I feel like I'm a cool person. I feel like I have really cool interests, and it took me so long to be able to admit that, because I felt like I wasn't a cool person and I didn't know enough, and I just realized that everybody is genuinely on the same page of knowing fucking nothing, because the world is fucking hard. And we all have to learn on our own how to be a person in society. And if people try to convince you that they're never confused or they know so much more than you, they're fucking lying. And they're trying to make you can't control everything, but the things you can control, like taking care of yourself and being there for yourself, is something you should really focus on instead of focusing on things you can't control. Like I said in the beginning, I'm still mastering all of this, and it's still really hard, and I think change is always going to be hard. But there's definitely ways to make yourself feel more at ease. I hope this video made you feel more comfortable and safe. That's the main thing I want you to have in this video, is comfort. You are going to be okay. I promise you. The last big change you have went through, you've survived and gotten through it, and you're on onto a different challenge. And life isn't always comfortable, which is something I literally get hit with daily. Because I'm a very big person of wanting to be comfortable constantly, because I'm constantly uncomfortable. But there's ways you can make it as comfortable as possible, and that's important to remember. I love each and every single one of you that have stayed and watched this video completely. If any of these help you, please let me know, because I want to be able to help you and make you feel comforted, because again, nobody knows what's going on. We're all learning and evolving constantly, every day, every year. And think of it in a way of this big change you're going through, or small change you're going through. It's not going to be unfamiliar after you get through it. And that helps me a lot, because when if I go through something like this again, I'm going to know how to deal with it better. And I hope that helps you, because life is hard and it's very uncomfortable, and it's important for you to make yourself as comfortable and happy and surrounded with people you love as much as possible, and everyone deserves that. But I'll see you all next time. I hope this video helps you. Bye.
Heart to heart.